Hello, welcome back to my third live. So today I'm going to start this secant method solving on C program. We already know about Newton-Raphson method, which is nothing but just subtracting first term with function of that terms with first derivative of that terms. Let's look some algorithm of the secant method. So the process is not that too long or short, so just going to start the algorithm, and after that we should guess two initial guesses, so that in the previous in the Newton-Raphson method we get just guess one, and in this case we should guess two so that it would be easy to solve. And we required error, so that while calculating the error, so that it should be smaller than given precision error. So and this is the formula to calculate new root, so that x1 minus function of x1 minus x naught upon function of x1 minus function of x naught. Let's move on the so this is the process to calculate absolute relative error, so that we should check whether this error is greater or smaller than the given precision error, so that if it is smaller than e, we should repeat the step 3. That means we should again use that formula and keep that value on that function and try next. So if it is smaller than the given error, our program will terminate. Okay. So now let's solve this question on C program. Okay, it is mathematically. So let's solve this on C program. So I am using VS Code for this case. Okay, let's create a new program name called secant method dot c. Okay, let's start. So just start with header file. I wanna zoom this because it will be include add. So we are using math function. So let's skip math.adds. Okay, so after that, we should define the function. So in our case, our function is where I think I don't know where is our function. Okay, so this is our function 2x squared plus 4x minus 10. So we should define this function. So let's define function, okay, rather than directly putting this function, so that it will be easier, so that user can give a new value, so that he or she can give a 3x square or 4x square or minus 4x square or whatever, so that it will be easier, so that we should not repeat one program again and again. It will be easier. So I just want to create a function here so that it will be easier. So defined function will be, this function name will be fx, and that will be, let's give some coefficient. Okay, let's give 3 coefficient. That means x into x plus a2 multiply x plus first coefficient will be x, and remaining will be just a naught. Okay, and this is just 4 coefficient of x: a3, a2, a1 and a naught. Then after that, in this program we should not calculate derivative, right? So that in Newton-Raphson method we should calculate derivative, first derivative. So in this case we should not calculate any derivative. We just directly put that function, the given value will be, the initial guesses will be directly put it on this function. So we finished. So let's declare a global variable, since we are declaring your coefficient a3, a2, a1 and a naught. So let's give them a float a naught, a1, a2, a3, a4. Okay, okay. Now let's start the program. Main file. Okay, int main. So what are the variables we are going to use in this program? Let's look after that. So we need a many variable like x0, x1, error, function of x1, and so many. So let's declare. We need load x1, x0, x0. We need x1. We need function of x1. Yeah, function of. We also need x2, right? So that we have to calculate the new root. So there will be also x2 and function of x naught, function of x1, and the error will be, and there will be the error precision so that user will input that error. Now let's ask for the coefficient. Let's ask user this function, okay, so that user will input. In our case, user will input 0, 2, 4, and -10. Since in our function there is 4 coefficient, our function is start with a3 x cube plus a2 x square plus a1 x plus a0. So in our case, there is the function start with just x square, so that user will input first coefficient will be 0, second will be 2, third will be 4, and the remaining one will be just -10. Okay, so let's ask user to input the coefficient. Enter the coefficient. Enter the coefficient. So let's input 4 coefficient since we are declaring 4 function. That will be a naught. That will be start from a3, right? Since in our function we are starting from a3, the input also start from a3. A3 and operator a2 and operator a1 and operator a naught. User will input the coefficient, and let's also ask for the first two initial guesses. This guess. User should guess these two guesses by itself, so that user will guess these two initial guesses. So let's ask for that. Printf enter the two initial guesses. Spelling is mistake, but that doesn't matter. Here will be a1. Okay, so this will be goes on to %f %f. This value will be stored into x1. Okay, x0, sorry, x0 operator. This will also include an x1 operator. Finished. So the inputting part is finished. Okay, so just start our while loop. The process is just being started. Okay, while. Okay, let's use some logic. So first of all, we should put the value of x naught on this function. So this is fx function, 2x squared plus 4x minus 10. We should keep this value of x naught into this function. The value will be a 2. In the place of x squared, there will be 2 squared, plus on the place of 4x, there will be 4 into 2. This gives answer of 6. Okay, so let's create that. Let's put value in that function. So value of function fx naught will be, we are putting the value of x naught first initial guess in this function. Did you get what I mean? So user already entered that function on this coefficient part. So whenever user enter that coefficient, that will be directly stored on this function, right? So now we should enter the guesses, the value of actual this x. We should enter the value of this x. Before that, we just give the value of this a3, a2, a1, and a0. This is just a function coefficient, right? This a3, a2. So we are now giving the value of x here. So in our first case, user will input initial guesses here, and whatever user will input that may be 1, that may be 2, or whatever. So it will directly go and store on that function. So on the f, there will be x naught. Okay, Okay, so we should also calculate the function of next initial guesses. So just calculate the function of next initial guesses that will be inserted in the function, and function is stored on here. Okay. Okay, la. Just we completed. Now let's calculate the x2. That is our new root. Okay, so in let's look onto the algorithm first for a second. Okay, so we have to find the new root, and where is there? Okay, so we have to calculate the new root for our next calculation. So let's input this function or formula there. That will be x2 will be x1 minus function of x1 multiplied by function of x1 multiplied by x1 minus x naught upon that will be close here upon function of x1 minus function of x naught. I think this is clear function. Let's check for a second. Okay, x1 minus fx1 into x1 minus x0. Let's view here x1 minus fx1, x1 minus x naught, and function of x1 minus function of, oh, I think this is correct. I think this is correct. So let's close this console for a second for a space. And now after calculating x2, we should calculate now error. Okay, so in our case here we forget to ask error from the user, so that we should ask error precision scan f percentage f e. Okay, now let's calculate absolute relative error. Okay, so absolute relative error formula will be mm, er 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 equals, this formula will be x2 minus x1 upon x2 upon x2. Okay, so let's use one function called fabs. Fabs means whether the value of this will be positive or negative. That doesn't matter, it will always be positive. The error is always positive on absolute relative error, so that you can look after this formula. There is so that whether the error will be negative or positive, since we are using this the answer is always will be on positive. Okay, so I just forgot what to say about this. I forgot. So this means if the answer will come here, just for example minus 0.702. So in our case, since we are using this kind of absolute relative approximate error, our answer will be automatically 0.579, or if answer is negative, directly it will be to positive. So we are using this fabs function and C program to convert. If the answer is in negative, it automatically convert that to positive. Just we are using this. So we are using fabs to which function? To er means absolute relative function. If it is less than e, if this is less than e, if this is less than e, we should find the root. Our answer is correct. We are able to find the root. Root is equals to percentage f. That will move to next line, and that root is on x1, right? Oh no, that will be stored in x2, since we are using x2 formula here. Okay, now let's break the loop. I think you didn't get why I am using your while one, right? So I will make you understand after the completion of program. So let's keep x0 is equals to x1. So this is nothing but just using here shift. So if it is greater than e, already our root will be on x2. So if it's not in that error, we should change the value. Our first initial guesses will be our our second initial guesses will be our first on next case, so that we guess x0 and x1 on the first part. We just ignore x0, and the new value will be x1 of x0, and x2 will be just x1. X2 will be that the new root we just calculated it before. Okay, so we finished this. So now it's time to change x1 to with x2. Okay, now our program is over. Let's type return 0. That will return the function. Okay, so I'm going to so here is capital E. So I'm going to explain you this part. Okay, so I think if you are confused with why we are using while loop here, I'm using while loop here because our program or our function will repeat again and again. You know, if you look clearly here, our x0 is changed with x1 and our x1 is changed with x2. This means if the upcoming error, if the error which we have calculated from here, if the error absolute relative error is lesser than error that user have inputted, that user will give error precision. Okay, and there will be true error that will be given by the user for the first time, and other will be calculated by using x1 and x2, that is initial cases of the program. So if that error precision is less than the error, the root is automatically x2, the root will be automatically x2. And if there is no error, so that if the error is greater than the absolute relative error, the program will repeat again and again. You mean, so if it is less than error, automatically program will out, I mean the program will be break from here, the program will be execute from here, will terminate from here. So if it is greater, it will repeat it again and again. So if you look here, there is no break, I mean that program will be repeat again and again until and unless it is smaller than the error precision. I think you understand that. So let's check whether it run. Okay, it run or not. GCC secant method.c. Okay, there is no error. That's great. So I think that will be a. Okay, let's input this. Okay, let's input this program whether is our answer will be correct or not. So in our case, the first one will be 0, second one will be 2, third one will be 4, and the last one will be minus 10. So in our case, initial guesses will be 2, initial guess will be 2, and another one will be 6. Okay, so now crest error precision is 0.05. 0.05. Okay. Oh, for a minute, we are not able to getting the error. So let's check for a minute. Okay, I think there is something program on our case. Let's check for a few minutes. Okay. STDI conio.h method adds define fx. Fx is defined and that will be a3x. Okay, okay, correct. Uh, correct. A0, A1, A2, A3. Oh, there is no A4, man. I don't know why I'm using A4. Lot A3, A21. Okay, okay. X1, X0, X1. Okay, X2, Fx1. Okay, X0, X1. Okay, okay. I don't know why there is error. Oh, let's build again. Let's run this. Let's close all of this. Let's clear. VCC secant 0, and another one is what? I just forget. 2, 4 minus 10. 2, 4. Initial guesses is 2 and 6. 2 and sorry 2 and 6. Error is 0.05. I think the compiler is not working well, so let's give random value, okay? So let's give random value. I would like to give 1, I would like to give it 0, I would like to give -1, -5, it will be 1, 4, it will be 0.05. Oh, I don't know why this program is not working well, so let's check for a minute. Okay. Int math, sorry, it should work on int math. Okay, x1 is x2. Okay, break function is stored in x2. Okay, fabs er is less than e. Okay, x2 minus x1. Okay, x1 minus function of x1 multiply by x1 minus x0 will close upon fx minus fx0. Okay, that's great. So here also let's put one bracket and here. Okay, I think this fx1 minus fx1 and fx0 error is from here. I think this error is capital E, right? So here is also capital E, here is also capital, and there is also capital that is user input by the E. I think this should be run well, but I don't know why this is not working fine. So let's check this on online compiler, okay? I'll love to do it on C++ program. Let's check here for a second. Include conio.ads. I don't know why this is giving here. I think this is not supported here. Into the coefficient that will be, in our case, I forgot, but I will try to recall it, okay? So I think that it was 0, 2, 4, -10. Potential request is our 2 and 6. Error precision is our 0.05. Oh, I don't know why this program is not working. Let's check again for a few minutes. So let's compare with algorithm, okay? So, there is no problem. Function of x2, x1, x, that's okay. Okay, okay, that's right. Okay, okay. I think there is no problem, but this is not running. Okay, let's ask for a chat GPT. That might be a right thing to do. I don't know why this is not working. Scanf. Oh, shit. That's the so small problem. Shit. We need to give here the and sign so that the error is not stored on any part of the memory. So if you give this and symbol, this indicates that the value user has given will be stored on this part. Now it's in front. A silly mistake. A silly mistake ruin our state. Just to see scan method. So I think now it will work fine. Let's give the same function from our textbook First coefficient is 0, second will be 4, third will be 4, and final one will be minus 10. Guesses will be 2 and 6. Error is 0.05. I don't know why it took too much time. Still, this is not working. Oh shit. I don't know what is happening here. Let's check again. Let's delete this and try again. Let's go for our GCC secant. I don't know why this is working too slow. That will be 0, that will be 2, that will be 4, that will be minus 10. That will be 2, that will be 6, that will be 0.05. Oh, I think this compiler is being too slow. Let's do it yourself. So let's remove conio.h since this online compiler doesn't studio.h. It's it's kind of silly mistake. Okay, now first one is 0, next one is 2, next one is 4, next one is minus 10, option is 2 and 6, either is 0.05. Again, this is not working, I don't know why. Even ChatGPT cannot find my error. Here it says just there is expect the address of float, but you have to pass variable e float. Or did we declare e here? Yeah, we also declared there. So I will copy the code and send. Still there is mistake. Still there is mistake. Your program should already read the copies as floating point numbers. I mean, what I'm using here? I think here. Oh, here's a silly mistake. We are declaring a variable on floating values, and we are using a integer data type, so that percentage they will just use for integer data type. So silly mistake. I think now there is no any problem. So let's fin this and clear GCC. Still there is error. Second method main cannot open output file permission. It cannot open it. Let's delete again. GCC secant. Okay. I think now our program will run completely. 0, 0, 2, 4, minus 10, 2, 6. Our error will be 0.05. Oh, okay. So we get our root 1.449620. Let's check. Okay, 1.45, and our root is 1.5. Oh, it's correct. Almost it's correct. Just a round of silly mistakes. So basically, there was today an error on my program, so I'm not feeling well. So I think so. We just declared your integer data type. So we use percentage %d that declares that gives the value of int. Okay. So that gives the value of integer. So we use percentage %d. So there was a mistake one, and we forget to here put an operator so that will take the reference of the error. Okay. So this is much for today. Thank you. I'm gonna end this live.